Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you, my friends, watching General Hospital lately has been a real roller coaster of emotions, but not always in the way we want it to be. If you have been tuning in with me, you know exactly what the elephant in the room is right now. There is a massive uproar sweeping through the fan community, and honestly, I am right there with them, nodding my head in agreement. The complete and utter absence of our beloved Maxie Jones is doing some serious damage to the show right now. It feels like we are watching a beautiful symphony, but the lead violinist has suddenly walked off the stage right before the grand finale. The storyline we are currently watching unfold is one of the most explosive ones we have had in a long time, and the fact that Maxie is not front and center to react to it is just plain wrong. It is leaving a sour taste in the mouths of dedicated viewers who have invested years of their lives into these characters. We need a temporary replacement, and we need one yesterday, because this current situation is just not holding water. Let us take a step back and look at the bigger picture here, because I always believe in being fair. We all know and love Kirsten Storms. Bless her heart, she has been bringing Maxie to life since way back in 2005. We have literally watched her grow up on our television screens through all the heartbreak, the triumphs, the wild fashion choices, and the deep family drama. She is a staple of Port Charles. But life throws curveballs at all of us, and Kirsten has been dealing with a mountain of personal issues over these past several months. It is the kind of real-life hardship that makes you want to reach through the screen and give her a big, comforting hug. Because of these personal battles, she just has not been able to make it back to Los Angeles to film her scenes. As a fan, my heart goes out to her, and I pray she finds the peace and healing she needs. Family and health always come first, no questions asked. However, the way the writers have handled her absence on screen has been nothing short of a head-scratcher. Do you remember back at the beginning of this year, early 2026? We had that brief, shining moment of hope when Maxie finally woke up from her coma. Oh, I was cheering right along with all of you, ladies. It felt like a fresh start. But then, poof, just like that, she was gone again by March. The explanation we were given? Maxie and Damian Spinelli decided to pack up the girls and head out on a long vacation. Now, I do not know about you, but taking a massive family vacation right after waking up from a serious medical trauma seems a little far-fetched, even for a soap opera. But we went along with it because we love the show. We accepted that they were off building sandcastles somewhere far away from the drama. But then the writers decided to drop the mother of all bombshells on us, and suddenly that vacation excuse became a massive problem. I am talking, of course, about the jaw-dropping revelation surrounding Cassius Faison. Ryan Pavey's been doing an absolutely phenomenal job, but my goodness, what a tangled web they wove. For months, this man was walking around town, looking exactly like our dearly departed Nathan West, talking like him, and fooling absolutely everybody. He was masquerading as his own twin brother, and we all bought into the fantasy. We wanted Nathan back so badly that we ignored the red flags. But the truth always has a funny way of coming out into the light, does it not? And when the truth finally spilled out this July, it was like a massive earthquake hitting Port Charles. The deception was exposed, and the fallout has been absolutely devastating to watch. Now, let us talk about the real victim in all of this mess, and that is poor little James West. Gary James Fuller is such a talented young actor, and my heart just breaks into a million pieces for that sweet boy. Imagine being a child and going through that kind of emotional ringer. First, he gets the crushing news that his father's leaving town. That alone is enough to traumatize a kid. But then, as if that was not cruel enough, he finds out that the man he thought was his father has passed away. It is a double dose of grief that no child should ever have to shoulder. I sit there watching these scenes in my living room, and I just want to reach out and tell the boy that everything is going to be okay. The emotional weight placed on this child's shoulders is immense, and it requires a delicate, loving touch from his family to help him navigate through this storm. But did he get that delicate, loving family touch? Absolutely not. And this is where my blood really starts to boil, folks. On Thursday, July 16th, we watched a scene that completely defied all logic and common sense. Cody Bell, played wonderfully by Josh Kelly, was somehow given the impossible, heartbreaking task of sitting James down and telling him the truth. Cody had to look this grieving child in the eyes and explain that the man he thought was his dad was actually his Uncle Cassius. Are you kidding me? Why on earth was Cody left holding the bag on this one? Do not get me wrong, Cody is a good guy with a big heart, and you could see the sheer agony on his face having to deliver this news. But it was not his place. It was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. The aftermath of that conversation was exactly what you would expect, and it was painful to witness. Little James, confused and hurting, lashed out and now absolutely hates Cody. And poor Cody is just devastated by his favorite nephew's reaction. He was put in an impossible situation and is now paying the price for it. It makes absolutely zero sense for a friend, even a close one, to be the messenger for such earth-shattering family news. Where was the family? Where was the support system? This is the kind of moment where a family circles the wagons and protects their own. But instead, the writers just threw Cody to the wolves, and it felt incredibly forced and unnatural. If Maxie and Spinelli are out of town, fine. But what about the rest of the family? Where was Felicia Scorpio? Where was Lisa Lobrecht? These are strong, fierce women who love James with all their hearts. Felicia is his grandmother, for heaven's sake. She would have moved heaven and earth to be the one to hold him and comfort him while breaking this news. And Liesel, despite all her rough edges, fiercely protects her blood. Either of these women stepping in would have made 100 times more sense than having Cody do it. It feels like the writers just looked around the set, saw who was available that day, and said that Cody should just go ahead and do it. It is lazy storytelling, and the viewers are smart enough to see right through it. We deserve better, and more importantly, the characters deserve better. But the biggest tragedy of this entire storyline, the gaping hole that you could drive a Mack truck through, is the absence of Maxie's reaction. Maxie and Nathan were the real McCoy. They had a love story that was so beautiful, so pure, and so deeply emotional that it captured all of our hearts. When Nathan died, a piece of Maxie died with him. So the idea that someone has been walking around wearing her dead husband's face, manipulating her family, and she is not even on screen to react to it, it is an absolute travesty. We, the fans, desperately needed to see the look on her face when she found out that this man was actually Cassius. We needed to see her anger, her betrayal, and her heartbreak. It is the emotional payoff we have been waiting months for, and we were completely robbed of it. Think about how much sense it would make if we could just see her process this. Over the past few months, we have watched Maxie gravitate back towards Spinelli. She chose Spinelli over this man she thought was Nathan. At the time, it might have seemed a little confusing to some folks, but now it makes perfect sense. Maxie has always had this incredible intuition. Deep down in her soul, she must have known that something was not quite right with this version of Nathan. Her heart knew it was not the man she married. If she had been on screen, we could have seen that realization wash over her. We could have seen her understand that her instincts were right all along and that her bond with Spinelli was genuine and safe. But because she is not there, we have to play Monday morning quarterback, and guess what she is feeling? This brings me back to my main point and the reason why the fans are in such an uproar. The ABC network really dropped the ball by not bringing in a temporary replacement for Maxie. Now, let me be crystal clear. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants Kirsten Storms replaced permanently. She is our Maxie, through and through. We all understand her personal situation, and we want her to take all the time she needs to get better. But in the world of soap operas, the show simply must go on. When a storyline is this massive and a character is this central to the plot, you cannot just write them off on a vacation and hope the audience ignores their absence. You have to bring in a pinch hitter. It is a time-honored tradition in daytime television, and we are all very used to it. All we can do now is Keep watching, keep hoping, and keep sending our love and positive thoughts to Kirsten Storms. We want her back healthy, happy, and ready to tackle whatever wild adventures Port Charles has in store for her next. Until then, we will keep gathering here, sharing our thoughts, and venting our frustrations together. Because that is what being a soap opera fan is all about, right? We love these characters like they are our own family, and when they hurt, we hurt. Thank you all for sitting down and letting me share my thoughts with you today. Keep your heads up, keep smiling, and I will be right back here with you next time to talk about whatever wild turn this show takes next.